This video is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing should be taken as factual. This is all my astrological opinion. Please enjoy.
That makes me feel like I've made a mistake.
A mistake of what?
Of getting a divorce.
Mowry.
Hey everybody, this is Sonia with Melanin Goddess Life. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another celebrity reading. So today we're going to be doing a celebrity reading, and I chose this particular celebrity because of a post that I made with regards to this celebrity and their situation with their personal life. I made it a few days ago and it seems to have a lot of popularity. So I thought I would come back and elaborate just a little bit more on how I came up with what I came up with regards to this particular celebrity. Now, this celebrity has been around in the acting community since they were a child. So they are child stars, very, very much popular, very much beloved. So it was somewhat of a shock when it was announced that this person was getting a divorce because she had been in this long-standing relationship. We've never heard anything disparaging about them as a couple. So it was very shocking to a lot of people when they announced that they were separated and ultimately they got divorced, I think, or they finalized it earlier this year. The person that I'm going to be highlighting in this celebrity reading is none other than the beloved Miss Tia Mowry. Okay, yeah, we're going to be doing highlighting Miss Tia Mowry, the, Tia from Sister Sister, the TV show with her twin sister, Tamara, and also her more popular role, which I loved her in this role, was when she played Melanie in The Game. I loved that series. So we're going to be talking about her just a little bit. And as I mentioned before, she had been in a very long-standing relationship. I think they'd been together a total of over 20 years, her and her husband, Corey, and they were married, I think, 14 years of that. They have two beautiful children, and it came as a shock that they decided to go their separate ways. I didn't really follow them that much. I just, heard basically what everyone else heard in the media about them getting a divorce. And I believe she does have now a reality show that's kind of documenting her life and where she is, where she's come from, and what she aspires to be with regards to her personal life. And it appears that she's being very transparent and very respectful. I love the fact that these two are very respectful to each other. They have not spoken ill of each other in the public, and I think it's very mature. And of course, these people have a long-standing respect and still love for each other. So, of course, it doesn't appear that they want to hurt each other in any way. And then they have their children to take into consideration. So I really love how they're navigating this dynamic, which is new to the both of them, and putting their children first and, putting themselves first and trying to heal. Now, everyone is interested in what happened. We will never know what happened with this relationship, and it is not our business to know unless they want to share it. Now, we can speculate what could have happened. I have my own opinion on what could have happened. And the reason I have my own opinion is because Tia and myself share the same sun sign. So I know just in general how she possibly operates when it comes to relationships, family, and marriage. So I have, again, an idea of what possibly could have happened and how she ended up filing for divorce. And it may not be what you guys think it is. But today we're going to talk about a little bit of that, but we're also going to talk about the post that I made, because to be honest with you, I think these people are going to find their way back to each other. And I'm going to tell you why a little bit later on in the video. So without further ado, let's get down to the astrology of Miss Tia Mowry and how we got here and where we possibly going with this relationship. So Tia was born July the 6th, 1978. We have a birth time at 4:32 p.m. She was born in Gelhausen, Germany. I hope I'm saying that right. So this is going to make her a Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, and Scorpio rising. A lot of water, a lot of emotion, a lot of everything. She's currently 46 years old as of her last birthday. So let's talk about the theme of her birthday year. So this would have been from last July until next July 2025 for her birthday. Her theme is around 11th house things. So we're talking about her friendship groups, her acquaintances, her social awareness, technology, how she reaches the world and the masses, and her long-term goals, dreams, and wishes. So this for her is a year that's going to be a lot of spending a lot of time with her friends, probably leaning heavily into her friendships, maybe recultivating her friendships, maybe bringing new people into her life. This is also going to be an area that governs social media. So Tia has built up a really strong social media presence, and she's very likable on social media. So I could see with this particular year, the theme of throwing herself more into social media. Of course, she has the reality show that she's doing, so introducing that and a part of her life. So this is all about expansion and growth in the 11th house and putting yourself out there and reaching the masses is what this looks like. This is also the area that governs long-term goals, dreams, and wishes. So she's probably going to be focusing on and redirecting a lot of her long-term goals because her life has changed in a very impactful way. So she's probably getting out with the old, in with the new, and what she sees for her future and those types of things changing for her as well. This is also an area for this birthday year that's going to have a lot of unexpected events and unexpected blessings coming her way. So hopefully she's been on the receiving end of some good energy, some good opportunities have probably fallen in her lap, but a lot of unexpected events could happen. And that's going to tie into this reading and what I feel like is coming down the pipeline for this young lady. Now, I also did the love calculations for her. This is where I do my secret formula that I come up with to determine what age a person is going into their love year. And that just strictly depends on what is currently going on with them. So this could be the age in which if Tia is totally single, this could bring someone into her life for a long-term committed relationship. If she's in a relationship, this could look like, and the relationship is going well, this could look like putting permanence on the relationship, maybe moving in together, getting engaged, getting married, making the relationship more exclusive. If she's in a relationship and it's not going well, this could show the cracks in the relationship. This could bring on some challenges in the relationship, and this could ultimately possibly bring on a breakup. And finally, the fourth scenario could be, which I feel like she's in this one currently, is this is a time when we really get serious about what we want in our long-term committed relationships, how we show up as a partner, what we want in a partner, and what we want our relationships to look like. The age in which I came up with that we should see some type of energetic shift around her love life, again, depending on where she is with regards to relationships in a romantic level, is the age of 46. So currently she is in her love year. Now, don't know what's going on with her dating life at this time. Don't know if she's seeing someone, where she is, but I do know that this is, up until her next birthday, energy around her cultivating something with regards to a romantic component in a relationship. So we'll see how this goes. Now, as I mentioned, Tia is a Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Scorpio rising. So she has a lot of water in her big three. With that Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, these are people that are going to be heavy into the importance of family, into the importance of the emotional connection that you make with cultivating a family. It is not missed on me that she married really, really early, really young. With by United States standards, she did marry young, which is not uncommon for Cancer women in general. They find their when they find their person, or the person that they want to spend the rest of their life with, that is their person. A lot of times they have a lot of their first with a person. And she had mentioned that Corey was her first experience by way of sex. She shared that, which is not uncommon. And let me tell you something. I'm a Cancer woman. Let me tell you, once we lock in early on with someone and we feel like this is our person and we are sharing a lot of our intimate self with them, we more than likely will connect with this person for the rest of our lives. Now, when I say the rest of our lives, that could look like it ending up you spending the rest of your lives together. If not that, this person could make a really significant imprint on your heart, in your mind, that you never forget that quote unquote first love or that first experience. So she did find him early on in her life, and they did get married very, very young. Nothing wrong with that. It's just usually cancers take that type of dynamic very, very seriously, and they want to go on to make a family with the person that they've decided that is their person, and they're very serious about that commitment. So this is where I will say that, people gave her a lot of flack about leaving, quote unquote, leaving her husband. Let me tell you something. With all this cancer going on with her, this was not easy for her, and this took a very, very long time for her to pull the trigger on getting a divorce. So please know, she doesn't even need to tell you this. I'm telling you this. This was not taken lightly. This was not spur of the moment. This took years in the making for her to even get the courage to say that something was wrong with the marriage and she was unhappy. So, because Cancers, women in particular, can stay in a relationship much longer than they need to, because they have made that commitment. And when you throw children in the mix, it's very hard for them to leave. So I know that this was not easy for her to go ahead and get a divorce. Now, with that Scorpio rising, she's all about loyalty. She's all about once she makes a commitment, and it's very similar to that Cancer energy, being committed to the person that you are going to share your life with. It just goes without saying. And it's also speaks to how quietly they did their divorce, because Corey himself is actually a Scorpio sun, Cancer moon, and I believe he is a Capricorn rising. So they did their divorce and the separation in a very dignified, private matter. Way that they did things. All right. So let's talk about some of the chances that I see coming up for her and where I feel like she might end up with regards to her romantic life. So we're not going to hit everything. We're going to skip around and just talk about what is going on with her romantically and family wise. I was looking at a clip that she had with regards to her reality show, and she did speed dating. And I know, her being a Cancer sun, this and her coming out of a marriage and a relationship with someone she's been with for over 20 years, it is going to be very difficult for her to date. Very difficult for her to date, because she is so committed to that relationship, and because she does not have any dating experience. Combine those things, I can see why she's struggling with dating. Now, she's also going to do this thing that Cancers do, particularly Cancer women, is we get nervous. We like things that are very comfortable for us and that we are used to and we know. I would say that because she's having so many dating difficulties, this is going to cause her to want to think that she made a mistake by getting a divorce. Now, keep in mind, I don't think that is, I want to say, not a bad thing for her. Cancer women get really nervous about dating. We're very particular. We're very guarded. If we don't, we need an emotional connection with someone. That is what we're looking for, that emotional connection. And if she's not feeling it, it's not going to happen. And it's just very difficult for us to date, especially when it's coming off of a long-term relationship that we've been in, especially one that we were in love with our partner. So when she made the comment that she regrets getting a divorce, I do believe she does regret getting a divorce for several reasons. One reason being that she doesn't like to be out in the dating world. And the second one is, I think she's still in love with him. I know she's still in love with him, and she has great love, admiration, and respect for him. And I feel like they're going to get the opportunity to try it again. Now, do I know if it's going to work? I don't know, but I feel like they're going to decide to try to reconcile and try it, give it one more try. I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, one of the things that's coming up for her, that's currently she has Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, and opportunity, transiting her seventh house of one-on-one relationships. So when we talk about Jupiter, we are talking about the things that have to do with expansion and growth and opportunity. So being sitting in the seventh house, this will give her the opportunity to get out and date and try to figure out what she wants with regards to her love life. But what people really don't realize and sometimes forget about Jupiter, Jupiter is a healing planet. It is one of the most spiritual planets in the zodiac. And what happens with Jupiter, it's also considered the teacher of the zodiac. So not only is she getting opportunities to date, she's also being taught and learning about herself, how she shows up as a partner, and learning about what she wants in a relationship. This is also Jupiter's healing energy over her one-on-one relationships. So her coming to terms about the ending of the relationship, the ending of the marriage, but the potential for it to be redirected and rebirthed in a different way. So this is a really good energy for her. Jupiter typically stays in a house for about a year. So she actually has until May 2025 to get the benefit of Jupiter being in this seventh house. After that, Jupiter is going to move into her eighth house, which is about her intimate connections and her sex life, and her connections with resources and with other people. So again, somewhat of a relationship house here, because we're tying ourselves intimately with someone else on an intimate emotional level and also on a sexual level. So we're going to see what's going to happen there when Jupiter transits over there July 2025. Another thing that she has going on that's causing a bit of doubt and confusion is she has Neptune in the fourth house. Fourth house is about our family, our emotional foundations, emotional stabilities. It's also about our residences. So this is where we live, buying and selling property. So again, her questioning, did I do the right thing with regards to my family dynamic? Her trying to figure out where she is with regards to family. And again, questioning whether or not she did the right thing, because Neptune is the planet of illusion and delusion, and sometimes a little bit confusion and not seeing things clearly. Neptune is the only planet that when it goes into retrograde, this is where you're going to see a lot of clarity as opposed to it going in direct motion. So I could see where was a lot of confusion around whether or not, in questioning, did I do the right thing with regards to splitting up my family. Now, I'm looking at her North Node and South Node. Currently, her North Node and South Node has been in her 4th and 10th house. Again, North Node in the 4th house. This is about family. This is about the direction that she's going in with her family. And then that South Node was in her 10th house. 10th house is about her career, and it's also about the titles that she wears. So when we're talking about the South Node in the 10th house, releasing of things. So during this time, Tia has gone from being a Mrs. to now she is a single woman. So her title changed with regards to that particular transit with this North Node and South Node, which will continue on until December 2025. So again, we're looking at family changes. That Neptune in the fourth house, that North Node that is still in her fourth house, she is questioning the direction that her family is going. So this is why I'm feeling like there's still going to be some questions about whether or not she wants to try to reconcile her family dynamic. Now, she's also going through a reverse nodal return, and her reverse nodal return is in her fourth and 10th house. So again, we're back heavy into a lot of family dynamics with her, and her questioning what is the status, what direction I want to go in. Again, her really weighing heavily on, did I make the right decision? And let me tell you something. I do believe that she made the right decision with regards to the divorce. And the reason I say that is, I think what happened with the divorce, and this is just my speculation coming from one Cancer woman to another, there was an emotional disconnect that happened with her and her husband. And again, it is very important for a Cancer, particularly a Cancer woman, to have an emotional connection with their partner. It is almost like having air. We need to have that. And if the emotional component was not satisfying her, or she was lacking in some way, that is a big deal on how we can stay in this relationship. And I do believe that she divorced him generally because she was unhappy with how the quality of the relationship. I don't necessarily think it was him, but okay, I take that back. Let me rephrase this. I do believe it was him. With him being a Scorpio sun and a Cancer moon, these people are hard to change. And if she was telling him that the emotional connection is not there, we need to go to counseling, he probably didn't want to go to counseling at all. Scorpios don't want anybody in their business, so he probably felt as if they could fix it between themselves. But I don't think they could. I think she knew that she needed some outside help with the relationship, and he may have refused to go. I'm just speculating. Don't quote me on this. So with regards to that emotional component struggling and breaking down for her, it was too much. And it may sound very trivial, but it was a big deal. Again, this was not something that she took lightly. This has probably been a few years in the making, especially around those eclipses that we had back in 2021 through 2022, which were the eclipses that were impacting the Scorpio placements and the Taurus placements. So these were weighing heavily on her, especially those Scorpio placements and that particular eclipse that came in May 2022 and then again in October 2022. This was a lot of change for her, and her coming to some extreme decisions and decisions that she had to make for her emotional health and the health of her children and her family. So the reason that I think that they're going to get the opportunity to talk about getting back together is, I still believe these two people love each other. And I do believe that sometimes you do have to separate from a partner. You do need space sometimes for you to grow, mature, and to really appreciate what you had in the relationship. And I think this divorce is actually a blessing for the two of them and giving them the opportunity to grow within themselves. Another thing I believe is these two people never had the opportunity just to be individuals. They got together very, very young, and they never really got to experience themselves just being individuals. So I think that was another thing that needed to happen. So now they're able to live individual lives. They're able to figure out who they are at this time, and then have the opportunity to come back together as new whole people, and to understand that just because you are married, you do not have to give up your independence. You're supposed to retain a level of individuality, because that's who you are. And they're more mature and they're more appreciative. So I do believe in the coming months, I don't know, maybe it's already happened. I'm not really sure. They actually may have a conversation about reconciling, and a serious conversation about reconciling, and we could possibly see these two people possibly reconcile here. I'm going to give it within the next 6 months. If it's going to happen, it will happen between now and possibly her next birthday in July. I wish them the best either way, whatever they decide to do, whether they decide to reconcile or they decide to go on, their separate ways. I wish them the best on whatever the best decision is for them as individuals and also for their children. I wish her luck. And yeah, that's all I have with regards to why I feel like there is a reconciliation on the horizon or already in process. So if you are interested in your own personal reading with me, please visit my website at www.melaningoddesslife.biz. Follow me on all the social media platforms by supporting me, by sharing, following me. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm on all of those. And thank you so much for your time, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.